Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Monday again, Monday, April the 21st. We're here to look at the new releases that have been published this week. And on Mondays, we are always start off with cozy mysteries. I hope you had a good Easter weekend. Mine was okay. It's currently raining. Started raining overnight, so a nice thing to sleep to, but it's going to turn everything green. Our neighbor mowed our lawn Saturday evening, so it is ready to grow. Shall we jump in? First up, one of my favorite authors, Will Thomas, has a new one. Historical mystery, of course. This is 16th in the Barker and Llewellyn series. I'm a little bit behind in this series. Season of Death is the title. Private inquiry agent Cyrus Barker, along with his partner Thomas Llewellyn, has a long accomplished history. He's worked with all aspects of society, from the highest, including the crown and the government, to the lowest, various forces in London's underworld. He's been the target of murder attempts, character assassination, bombings, and attacks upon his closest associates, but never has he and his agency partner Thomas Llewellyn faced such destruction and potential disaster. The sudden collapse of a railway tunnel in the East End of London kills dozens and shuts down services all over the city. Meanwhile, a mysterious beggar calling herself Dutch guides Barker and Llewellyn to an attempt by a powerful aristocrat to take over London's criminal underworld. With a missing heiress and a riot at a women's shelter acting as distractions designed to stop the duo from getting to the truth, Barker must relentlessly fight to reach the trust with which Llewellyn wonders how a simple beggar woman can be the catalyst for such destruction. This is a Sherlock Holmes Watson kind of vibe, if you're looking for something like that. I do recommend the series. It's a smart one. Fabergé Easter Eclairs by Tammy Beck, 5th in the Mysteries a la Mode series. You're looking for something seasonal. A Priceless Egg, a Deadly Betrayal, a mystery as intricate as the finest Fabergé. Spring has arrived in Harmony Bay, bringing pastel-colored storefronts, Easter treats, and the town's most anticipated event, the Easter Heritage Exhibit, featuring a collection of exquisite Fabergé-style eggs on loan from a reclusive collector. But when Maxwell Sterling is found dead, clutching a shattered egg in his hand, the holiday turns from festive to fatal. As suspicions swirl through the town like spring breezes, Frances Demaris finds herself entangled in a mystery when a cryptic note hidden inside a trinket box appears in her bakery. The missing egg is said to contain a secret worth killing for, and Frances isn't the only one hunting for it. From a desperate antique dealer to a mystery buyer with deep pockets, everyone has something to lose or gain if the truth comes out. Meanwhile, Frances faces a battle of her own when she risks the town's ire by helping a young baker, Dan Caldwell, open a new shop. As tensions rise and old rivalries resurface, Frances must juggle friendships, family loyalties, and dangerous secrets, all before the final Easter bell tolls. Can she crack the case before the killer strikes again, or will Harmony's Bay past prove too tangled to unravel? Rita Mae Brown has a new one. I did check. This is new. Sealed with a Hiss, 33rd in the Mrs. Murphy Mysteries. Spring is in full bloom and everything is blossoming just right for Harry in Crozet, Virginia. Restorations to the long-shuttered local segregated school are nearly complete, and the school will be renamed to commemorate an important community member. To honor the former students, Harry and her friends are hard at work planning a reunion. It's a big affair, and the crew spends their days hanging plaques at the gym, arranging food, and writing speeches. But the 15 acres behind the school are enticing for more than just a school reunion. One realtor soon reveals plans to buy the land and build over it, unless the crew can find a way to stop the sale. In their search to prevent the purchase, they come across something unexpected, a dead body, which might not be the first to show up this season. With a little aid from T. Tucker the Corgi, an Irish wolfhound pirate, as well as feline sleuths Mrs. Murphy and Pewter, Harry just might have a chance at solving this mystery and preventing the land purchase once and for all. Tanya Koppis has a new one. I know you're shocked. Good morning, Mary. Happy Monday. Boy, big name to lead off the list. Indeed. This one is Father's Day Fugitive, 12th in the Holiday Cozy Mysteries. Father's Day in Holiday Junction is smoking, and not just at the barbecue contest. When celebrity chef Ted Monroe is found dead on his yacht, throat slashed with his own knife, Violet Reinhammer's sizzling interview turns stone cold. With suspects piling up faster than ribs on the grill, including Ted's bitter ex-wife, his scorned fiancé, and a town full of secrets, Violet must turn up the heat to catch a killer. As tempers flare and family feuds ignite, can Violet smoke out the truth before the killer strikes again? And the real one. A new one from Rose Pasco. This is a historical mystery series. I've not read this series. It's one I'm aware of, which I will probably get to eventually. How was your show, Mary? You had one on Saturday, didn't you? Empty Cradle, 8th in the Penrose and Pike mysteries. Penrose and Pike must put aside their own problems in a race against the clock to rescue a kidnapped infant. When private detective Charlie Penrose Pike is asked to investigate the kidnapping of a child, his instinct is to refuse. As their first wedding anniversary approaches, Charlie fears for the fragile state of his wife, Grace, for whom this heartbreaking case would be the final straw. But how can he let the desperate parents down when they have struggled for years to conceive only to have their baby snatched away? Besides, Charlie is their only hope because the ransom note threatens their precious son's life if they contact the police. A family torn apart, a case taking fresh twists and turns by the hour, and only 4 days to identify the kidnapper. Could it possibly get any worse? And then the unthinkable happens. This is set in 1890s New Zealand. Family and Fae by Renee Marsky, 5th in the Spellbrook Mystery Series. Welcome to Spellbrook, where magic and mystery collide. Reagan, the local fire witch and bookstore owner, is trying to find her bio mom. She is running out of leads. It seems that a spell was done to disguise Evie from anyone looking for her, even her own daughter. After her aunt attacks the wolf pack, Reagan decides to visit a well-known blood coven in the hopes that they might have the information she's looking for, all while trying to prevent herself from shifting to avoid having to face a challenge at some point in the future. But with Hank by her side, she knows she can accomplish what needs to be done. Bad to the Scone by London Lovett, 6th in the Scotty Ramone Cozy Mystery Series. Scotty Ramone is living the life she always dreamed about. She's back in her wonderful hometown of Ripple Creek. Her bakery business is thriving, and she has a wonderful baker's assistant, Jack Lucas. To top it all off, she has a marvelous boyfriend, gothic thriller novelist Cade Rafferty. Admittedly, there is still a touch of awkward tension between Scotty and her longtime crush, Ranger Dalton Braddock, but they've worked things out, mostly. The winter snow has melted and spring is in the air, and soon a rush of summer tourists will fill the town and gobble up her bakery goodies. When one of the locals, Roberta Schubert, decides to reopen her mother's old tea house and sell what she calls traditional scones, she boasts she might just take a bite out of Scotty's business. Scotty isn't too worried until Roberta sells her scones at a yard sale and people love them. When Roberta is murdered, Scotty starts a list of possible killers, and there are plenty. In the meantime, Ranger Braddock has started his own list, and one of the names on the list is a real stunner. ... And Corinne Winters has released her next 3, as we are seeing each week. It was so-so. The wind was fast, but sales were slow. Oh, lots of lookers, but few buyers. Shoot, not surprised really, but it was a pretty day and I enjoyed myself. Okay, good. I could use a scone right nap about now. Love them. I have been craving them, and I don't know why, but I can't find good ones. Were you able to take it easy this weekend? Sure, hope so. Somewhat. Yep. I visited my mom yesterday at the home thing, and I had sent some flowers on Friday for Easter, and she really liked those, and there were some cookies along with, so she really liked those. And we visited for a couple hours. It was very nice. Thank you. When you witch upon a hex, 8th in the Foxglove Falls Mysteries. The land remembers, and now it's stirring. When a folklorist is found dead beside his altar stones and a sealed charm buried near a long-forgotten ley line spiral, Luna Graves knows this isn't just murder, it's a message. The magic beneath Foxglove Falls is waking up, and it's hungry for memories, secrets, and unfinished bargains. Spirals appear in frost. Crows stop circling, and charms meant to protect begin to burn. As Luna digs deeper with her raven familiar, a patient sheriff, and a cousin buried in town archives, she uncovers a buried network of rituals, cover-ups, and a root-bound circle that was never truly disbanded. The ley line map is rewriting itself, and someone's been planting trees in all the wrong places to bury the truth. But the land isn't letting go, and Luna may be the only one left who can unseal the past, before it decides to tear everything down with her inside it. End of that row. Good morning, Elena. How you doing? I'm off from work. Awesome. Ooh, that sounds like a good day. Wish I could also do so, but I can't, so I'll go to work. Witchfest by Amelia Ash and K.M. Watt, 4th in the Hollowbeck Paranormal Cozy Mysteries. The Hollowbeck Midwinter Festival is the event of the season, complete with flying pigs, snow monster fights, and a free bar that no one should trust after the 3rd round. The centerpiece, a lavish masked ball featuring Alaric's famously enchanting and possibly cursed masks. Morgan Winters isn't one for fancy dresses or mysterious strangers, but as Hollowbeck's unofficial town witch, she's expected to show up, mask up, and smile. At least the canapes are good, and Alaric's assistant Finn isn't bad either. But when a masked witch turns up dead and no one can seem to remember it happening, Morgan's unease turns into outright alarm, especially when the masks begin to take hold of their wearers, making them forget who they are, believe impossible things, and in one case, declare themselves the fairy queen of the farmer's market. As more witches fall under the enchantment and the solstice draws near, it's up to Morgan and Ruiner, still a cat, still annoyed, to uncover who's behind the magic before the masks consume the town and before Morgan loses herself entirely. Whoop. Mary says, nice to hear Mom is happy and doing well. Glad particularly you had a nice visit. They are so important. Indeed. I'm trying to set up a set schedule of Sunday morning for me to visit and Wednesday evening after work. Elena says, no sprints tonight. No sprints tonight on my channel. Our next ones are on Tuesday, tomorrow night. Mary says, hi, Elena. And she says, hello back. The Sketchy Christmas Tree by Lucy Carroll, 2nd in the Cozy Mystery Holidays series. Out on a limb for a killer. In the whimsical small town of Bisque, filled with fur babies and friendly faces, lives a dapper cat detective, I'm out, Sir Percival. With his keen intellect, a flair for the dramatic, and of course impeccable grooming, he believes he embodies the essence of a gentleman. One fateful night, all seems well as Christmas lights and glittering snowflakes usher in a peaceful end to the day. But perched atop a towering Christmas tree, Sir Percival's vigilant gaze spots a shadowy intruder lurking near a home down the street. His concern for the spirited little dog who resides there compels him to embark on a daring nighttime escapade. But the shocking discovery in the little dog's backyard is more than just a mischievous intruder, it's a dead body. Determined to solve the mystery and protect their humans, Sir Percival enlists the help of his newfound friend Fidget. Together, they unravel clues that lead them through a web of betrayal, eccentric neighbors, and buried secrets. I'm out faster than a vampire book. I just can't do those. I can't do them. And yay for people who can. That's why there's a lot of books out there. Never Bored, Part 4, Daily Mystery Serial by Sam Cheever. My name is Philippa Hilda Schultz, but everyone calls me Pippi. I'm not going to say it. I run a boarding house for people in the early winter of their lives. You know what I mean. People whose leaves are thinning and whose lawns are slightly frosty in the early mornings. I inherited the business from my Grams and had no experience running a boarding house when I stepped in. There's no question I've had my hands full. Fractious boarders, broken appliances, leaky roofs, and a very distracting next-door neighbor who makes my engine rev. Oops, did I say that last thing out loud? The best thing I can do for myself is stay away from Jack Walters. He has a tendency to cloud my thoughts and turn me into a babbling idiot. Forget I mentioned him. I mean, the real problem is the dead body my plucky little blonde dachshund Iris found in the flower beds. No amount of training would have prepared me for that. Also, did I mention that the sexy next-door neighbor used to be a cop before starting his own security company? Yeah, under these circumstances, staying away from him is going to be a challenge. In fact, it might be nigh on impossible. Oh, darn. Gentle reader, I, Rosie Montague, present you with the tumultuous events of my recent months. Despite my goal to remain a spinster, I fell instantly in love with Lysander of the House of Beautiful, suffered an unhappy betrothal to a duke, which ended in death for him and almost for me, am now entrapped by a compromising deceit plotted by the enamored Prince of Verona himself, Aeschylus. Not only am I failing on the spinster front, but I have also failed to set an example for my 7 siblings, soon to be 8, thanks to my parents' embarrassingly undying passion. Specifically, 13-year-old Caterina, along with her friend Princess Isabella. In their desire to honor my romance, now ill-fated, by commissioning a sonnet, they imitated my own youthful folly and dressed like well-born young males, complete with stuffed codpieces, and swaggered into the night. Their poetic mission accomplished, they celebrated, landed in scandalous circumstances, and the princess was robbed of her mother's priceless ring. With our fates and family names at stake, I must save the day. What ensues will require that I visit a brothel, infiltrate the thieves' debaucherous lair, and dodge Aeschylus. I can only hope to keep intact my virginity and my life. The latter especially, should my parents find out. ... No, it just, I should like it. End of that row. A Splash of Arcana, second in the Pobid, that's a weird word, Perfections Bakery. Magical baker Lily Dean is settling into her new life in Silverkeep, along with all the creatures who'd come out of hiding after magic was made legal once more. The south side of town near the wharf is bustling with new neighbors, including merchant Jeremias Scarp, who's just procured a magical pendant that he swears is going to take his fledgling business to the next level. But when that pendant goes missing, Lily's on the case to find out who might have taken it, while also avoiding the attention of powerful Mr. Globe. But when Sheriff Juno decides to close the case without investigation, Lily must use all her wits to expose the culprit before Jeremias's businesses goes under. You would not believe, just in the last year, how many descriptions are across genres for one book. It's not just mystery, it's mystery, romance, fantasy. Or not just romance, it's, you know, all the, they've crossed genres so much just in the last year. We'll have time for one more here. Murder at Wentworth Castle by Eliana Munoz Renfro, first in the Mary Pippin mystery series. I hear that name and I think Lord of the Rings. That's just me. After losing her job, Mary Pippin desperately needs a fresh start. With her goofy, overly excitable dog, Bullwinkle, in tow, she heads to the charming Serenity Island to visit her beloved Aunt Amelia Constance. The island is abuzz with excitement for the return of the prestigious Wentworth Festival, set to take place at the Grand Wentworth Castle after a decade-long hiatus. At the heart of the festivities is Lord Callum Wentworth, the castle's endearingly awkward and hopelessly tongue-tied owner. Determined to make this year's festival a dazzling success, Callum finds himself in a far greater predicament when Mary arrives, rendering him completely incapable of coherent speech and prone to clumsy mishaps in her presence. However, Wentworth Castle holds more than history and an ill-fated romantic prospect. It harbors secrets, and one of them has been haunting the halls for over a century. When Mary encounters Henry, a dashing yet sardonic ghost tethered to the estate, she quickly learns that some mysteries never rest. Henry offers cryptic warnings about dark deeds of the past and hints that history may be on the verge of repeating itself. Tensions rise when Katerina Chester, an ambitious journalist, with no clear ties to Serenity Island, arrives to cover the festival. She soon finds herself at odds with Rowena Pinkish, the town's most insufferable gossip. Rowena's sharp tongue and a penchant for stirring trouble has made her plenty of enemies, but when she storms off after a heated confrontation, no one expects what comes next. Rowena is found dead in the castle gardens. What was meant to be a weekend of festivities turns into a full-blown murder investigation. With Katrina as the prime suspect, Mary isn't convinced the case is so simple. Determined to uncover the actual killer and protect the festival from ruin, she teams up with her sharp-witted Aunt Amelia and the ever-awkward but well-meaning Callum to unravel the truth. And it goes on and on and on. How long is this book? 288 pages. Goodness. The description itself goes on for 200 pages. I exaggerate. But that is all we have time for today. Oh, hope you have a good Monday. I need to go get the mail, open up the shop, get the guys ready to go, do payroll, all these fun things on a Monday. Elena, enjoy your day off. I hope you have fun or at least relax, whichever it is you'd like to do. Mary says, hope you all have a great Monday and week. Thanks. Off for a massage later this morning, so we'll miss Thunder Horse Attendant today. May rain, hoping so. Need it indeed. Thanks again and have a great day. Enjoy your massage. That's fantastic. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much if you're watching now. If you're watching later, I appreciate you. And tomorrow we'll look at the darker side of mystery, crime fiction, and thrillers. And I don't have any sprints tonight, as Elena had reminded us. Our next sprints are tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, every Tuesday and Thursday evening, and Saturday afternoon. Have a good day. And as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day. God bless.